Go for it.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Well, we were discussing, Bevan, that I think financial freedom and working on transmuting your money wounds is probably one of the most important things in the spiritual community to work on. Because, yes, okay, be happy with nothing. Absolutely be happy with nothing. But then there's another side of the coin where if we're here to create heaven on earth, if we're actually here to uplift the quality of life of humanity, one thing, the way that I know a man has mastered alchemy, which is turning a thought to a thing, is with his bank account. If you know how to turn a thought to a thing, a thought about abundance into a thing, money is a thing in this world. We've just agreed that money is a thing and money can be a resource. And as a woman, I want to feel safe. And part of safety that a man can provide is stability, which is financial stability. Because for me, I've had to experience being a single mom with two little children and being completely financially abandoned by the men in my life. And this is because they were not grounded in their masculine power. And I have compassion. I get it. We've all of us have money trauma. But I took responsibility and we were at the point where we were on our way of making a few $1,000,000 very, very quickly. But at the same time, we lost that few $1,000,000 really fast because we were not at the vibration to maintain it. And it can even be like something like I did a money clearing recently, a very, very powerful one, something that only the children of the kings and the queens get done to them, or the people in the global elite, the top 1%. Okay, I got this process done on myself. And what I saw was that 7 generations back in my father's lineage was in charge of the king's treasure. And bandits came in, stole the treasure, and beheaded every single man in that village. And they were holding up heads with blood dripping down. And there was a whole wagon full of heads of dead bodies and beheaded men. And so we carry that gets imprinted in us, that we have then an innate fear that if we have wealth, we will die. And that's a counter vibration to you actually being able to attract, retain, and multiply wealth. Because if you have it, you have this illogical underlying fear that you will die or something really bad will happen to you, or that money's evil. Like these are all these programming that's in the collective, that money is evil, that it's going to cause chaos, that people are going to be jealous, it's going to make your world life really hard and difficult. These are all things that we have to deprogram. Because actually the conscious people and the conscious leaders are the ones that should have the money, because we have done the work of the heart. And we're the ones that are going to be using the money to bring heaven on earth, to uplift humanity, and do this with honor, integrity, and love. So this is my call to action to the leaders of the new earth. This is my call to action. Do your abundance work.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think?
Well, I'm 100% behind that. Absolutely. Yeah. There's too many people compromising their self and their values and just living way below their potential. And it's just really sad to see that, because we could do so much good, and we could also live joyfully, and we could be who we are, and we can all change the world for the better.
Yeah, when I meditate and I see these advanced conscious civilizations, my meditation shows me that opulence is an integral part of an advanced, awakened civilization. Why? Because opulence is a high frequency. Beauty is a high frequency. Nobody looks at, the shanty towns or, the derelict neighborhoods and say, this is inspiring. Yes, we have to have the contrast to then create a desire, make a decision, activate our leadership to create transformation. But when we then transmute our wounds around lack and we come into this abundance frequency, we are meant to build very, very beautiful,
Mm,
opulent environments to live in, because when we are surrounded by beauty, and this is the feminine, this is what the feminine brings, is that when I build a rose quartz crystal, how could you not enter that temple space and be awe-inspired, where you will be automatically in a whole new vibration, where cognitions and insights will come to you that increase your manifestational powers, that will continue to snowball, to continue to create more joy, more beauty, more abundance on earth. It's just a snowball effect.
completely. Yeah. Right. There's no way you wouldn't feel that. Mm,
So our job as the women is we are the oracles to download these visions. And then we give you guys the hard work to build it. So we're putting it on the list. We want a rose quartz crystal temple. The
mm.
goddesses have put the order in.
Oh yeah, right. That's why you have your background like that.
Yeah. So I'm curious for you as a man, how does that make you feel? Like, because I can sense that for a lot of men, it can feel like a lot of pressure.
Hmm. Okay. Well, not I would think not all men are meant to build it, but maybe many. Because I mean the masculine and feminine energy is a balance in every person. So some people are channeling things and some people are building them. Um, it doesn't really put pressure on me. It's just inspiring.
Good. There you go. Good.
Mhm.
And I think when everyone has like a baseline level of financial security, then that's just like a baseline level of, okay, our nervous systems can be grounded, and that's a place to create from, rather than creating from of a place of survival. Again, it's a catch 22. In order for us to manifest that baseline of stability, financial stability, we already have to be grounded in our nervous system, as if we're already there, even if we're not monetarily there yet. So I think that's the trap that a lot of people are wanting to get out of. And this is one of the reasons why I want to gather all the boldest new earth leaders that are creating heaven on earth together in a container, in a mastermind, in a community, because we all need to be supporting each other. Every single successful person is in a mastermind, and that is just a fact. Every successful person that makes it to the top is in a mastermind with other people that are rooting for you, that are doing on a similar wavelength, on a similar vibration. Right? We got to block out the noise from the outside counter intentions, the outside naysayers, and we need to focus and be together and be stronger together. And right now, more people are like, okay, we want to like get land and grow organic food and dance in the forest with our babies, running around naked, barefoot. Like, is that too much to ask for?
No, no, that's just the beginning. It
It's
gets
just
to
the
be
beginning.
a lot more amazing than that too, but it's a great place to start.
That's literally just like the baseline of baseline. It's
Yeah,
just the beginning.
yeah, freedom is
Absolutely.
so important. Yeah, I was having a great time this summer here. Like where I live is on the bank of a river, and so I'm in nature. There's lots of trees. I like to go down to the beach there, and I was jumping along rock to rock along the shore. So just playing in the sunshine and stuff. Yeah, it makes you feel amazing. And then I had all these messages come through me doing that.
Beautiful. Are you open to sharing any message that stood out for you that was really inspiring?
Oh yeah. Remember who the fuck you are and do whatever the fuck you want. That's a great it's a great formula for life. And of course, do what is the most exciting to you. Hmm?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. Do things just for fun. Like because people a lot are in the problem solving consciousness. So it's important to do things just for fun as well, not like attached to the outcome. Even in business, you can do things just for fun. And
Yeah,
see what will happen.
absolutely. I used to work in the corporate world, and I used to do conscious leadership training, and it was kind of my way of trying to fix the old world. And then I realized, you know what, it wasn't that easy to do because people weren't necessarily ready for it. It was there was a lot of resistance. And then I thought, you know what, instead of trying to fix the old, why don't I just create new and create new and create new? And that's what we do. And especially as women, we birth things. We birth things out of nothing. We create out of our womb something out of nothing.
Mhm.
So I feel that it's really exciting, a really exciting time on planet Earth right now, because we're literally birthing something that no one's ever experienced before. We've never done it before. There's no litmus test. All we know is the old world as a contrast. And okay, if we don't want that, then what do we want?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
We want new financial systems.
I also want to introduce you to an amazing man. This guy created Mastery of Loving, and he might want to talk with you about it. Like he might want to join your mastermind, for example, because he would love to get the Mastery of Loving out like through schools, right? Like to the children. Anyway,
Mm.
Matthew Sikich, he created the 5 buying habits, and so you just reminded me of that because well, there's 5 buying habits of the American public of how people buy, and so you were just talking about improvers because you tried to do it as an improver, change the system from within the system, try to make things better. Um, and okay, and then yeah, it didn't exactly work, but people weren't ready and whatever. And then you became a revolutionary. Just create something new outside of the system separately. And that's the parallel systems, like decentralized, everything that's happening now. We have to make the old system obsolete by being redundant, like we don't need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely a revolutionary, and I want to be with all the boldest revolutionaries of the planet.
Hmm.
And now I'm curious about what are the other archetypes there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll talk about this another time, or I'll just introduce. If we do, I'll interview him, or we'll do like an interview, a group thing where we're all together, and that way you can ask him questions directly. I think that would be very enlightening. I could step out of the way and let you two have the conversation.
No, you've got lots to say too. I mean, on the topic of love, I feel that this is also one of the most important things for these revolutionary leaders to be working on, is also healing their wounds with love in relationship to themselves first, and using past relationships as access to where they want to transmute shadows into light. Because right now, from what I get in my intuition and my knowing, right now is when all the twin flames are going to be coming together. This is the time for I think, the most concentrated twin flame unions and to come into divine union, because these are literally going to be the new rulers of planet Earth. It's not going to be anyone that's appointed by governments. It's not going to be anyone that's going to be on CNN News or TV. It's going to be the women and the men who have done the conscious spiritual work on themselves, and then they have attracted their divine counterparts because they've been crafted and prepared to do a mission on planet Earth and execute on their mission together in divine union. And with divine union, that love is going to amplify their, like a goddamn tidal wave. And I'm preparing for my twin flame divine union right now, and I feel it so close to me, because I have gone through so many initiations in love. I've just been destroyed. My heart has been destroyed. My children have been destroyed. My family's been destroyed. I've been financially destroyed. I was homeless a year ago, and it's like I have risen through so many challenges. I have healed my children. I've healed myself, and I have had to go through so much fucking shit to get to where I am today, to be softer, more loving, more trusting, more beautiful, more radiant. I could have come out of those incidents destroyed for life, but I chose not to. And these are the revolutionary leaders that are going to be leading the way. And so there's the financial piece, and then there's the love piece, and that's a really big thing, because this is the kind of love that's going to heal the entire planet. It's going to be able to birth universes into existence.
Mhm.
Boom.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the prosperity one first and then relationship too. So it's like you yeah, you say it better than I could, right? But it all resonates. Yeah. And yeah, I know that
Yeah,
that those are coming together, those divine union partnerships, absolutely, in mass quantities, which is super exciting for humanity and the planet. Yeah, and the
it's so
future.
inspiring.
Oh yeah. Oh right. And you
Yeah,
went through all that shit and you trust yourself and you value yourself. And so now you won't take any shit, which is really awesome. Like I got a lot of inspiration and wisdom from one of your videos yesterday. I think you put it in your live. Maybe it was like, in clips, but I took notes about it, about trusting yourself. um, yeah, is it okay if I kind of say the words of that? Because I wrote it down, and then you can just share whatever you want to share. Maybe take it
absolutely.
further or something, because it's so. I'll just let people know that it was so valuable.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so trust yourself. See, yeah, you can trust the universe if you trust yourself. You can trust other people if you trust yourself. People break your trust, like they break your word because they don't trust their self. What does an awakened person do? They trust their self. They know what they don't tolerate. If you only if you only start something and you don't finish it, that's a deep form of self-sabotage. Although it may not be in every single case, right? Because like as a manifesting generator, you might like to start a bunch of things and it's raising your frequency, right? And it's natural. Don't beat yourself up about not finishing things. But the point was that if something's very important to you, like your health, and then you keep not being able to follow through on it, right? Or taking care of yourself in some way, then yeah, that's not valuing yourself so much, right? But we'll go more into it. So, so why would we do that? Why would we sabotage ourselves by not completing something that's so important to us? Because you don't truly believe that you deserve the best. This is what you said, Stephanie. Um, and what and when you grow your self-worth and you're being accountable to yourself and growing your self-respect, then your actions will be congruent with your self-love and your self-worth. Yeah, so I got a lot of value from that message.
Amazing. Where did it resonate for you in your life?
um, taking care of myself. And being able to like ask for and receive money, like make offers
Mhm.
and believe in myself, right? And believe in the transformation that people get, right? And how much what's it worth to them? Like what's it costing them not to make the transformation, to stay stuck? Obviously a lot, right? Because we have to consider that. That's a good thing to consider before we price something.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it's very, I mean, it's all about our self-image and how we see ourselves, and it's just
Right.
how we're going to treat ourselves. It'll just directly show in our actions what we charge, what we put in our bodies, what we think in our minds. And I've been on a 20-year path of discovering my subconscious mind and what it's vibrating, what it's saying, and dismantling it and reprogramming it. And it takes, I mean, I don't know, people don't really see all the work that, you think someone's going to be an overnight success. Well, no, it was actually a 20-year process plus many, many lifetimes. You want to see how many journals I've written in? How, after making a few million and losing it just as fast, how many journals did I go through? How many EFT tapping sequences did I do to clear money blockages? I probably did about 2,000 to 3,000 different sequences to clear anything that I could think of that was a limiting belief around money and love. And around trust, I wanted to know, how can I trust myself? because I still hadn't been trusting myself fully up to a few years ago. And so I said, show me a way that I can trust myself. And I was in meditation. And I heard, this was 4 years ago, I heard a huge, loud voice that said, you have stage 3 ovarian cancer, in my meditation.
Wow.
And I was,
Didn't know yet.
whoa,
Oh yeah. Holy.
what's that? Like, where'd that come from? And I had asked God to show me, I'd asked the universe to show me that I can trust my intuition. And that's what happened the next day. Show me that this voice in my head is real. And I went to my pelvic floor specialist. Sure enough, he examined. There were tumors, squishy, painful tumors about this big in my uterus. And that didn't come from a doctor. That didn't come from a medical complex. This came from my higher self in meditation. And people don't believe, because we've been programmed to think that we've been programmed to give our power away to authority, governments, teachers, coaches, parents, peers, bosses, when in fact, the highest authority is your inner authority. That's how you claim your sovereignty. That's how you learn to trust. The most important person in your world is you. But you have to cultivate that inner voice and that inner knowing and that connection within to trust yourself. And you might get bold lessons like this. By the way, I cured myself of cancer naturally within 5.5 months through meditation and eating organic foods. And the other part of ascension is treat your body well, eat healthy. It's like healthy mind, healthy body, you know? So that was a big lesson. And since then, I strengthened my level of trust in myself, that ultimately, who do I listen to? I listen to myself. But you have to have discernment that you're not listening from the little fear voice. You're listening to the higher self voice. And that's something that we all are learning to cultivate during this process.
Absolutely. It's very inspiring. I love your stories. And also, I'm really glad you said that. Like, I wanted to create a thing about that, like that the inner, like, you know, a little program or something. It would start small, but like the authority. It's like inner authority blueprint or something like that. It was years ago.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, I'm curious from a male perspective, because as a female, we're very intuitive. So, you know, we can just like close our eyes and literally I just see Lemuria. It's like an ayahuasca ceremony already. I just meditate and breathe a few times and I'm there.
Yeah.
But for men,
What's really cool is that's a demonstration of it right there, because I was already thinking about that. So then, and then you just said it without me having to say it. It doesn't have to be Lemuria exactly, but like Atlantean, Lemurian. There might have been another one, kind of like an Aquarius or New Age of Aquarius, like with all the water and stuff. Because what I wanted to mention earlier is, yeah, we're creating something new that never existed, absolutely, and we're also remembering what we've forgotten too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have a lot of ancient memories. And I guess I'm curious from a male's perspective, how do you, because I'm hearing that the men are to rely on the women for the remembering, and we translate the visions to you so that you can then build it. But do you feel like you have knowings or rememberings or visions, or how do you come up with your own cognitions or visions to guide you? How do you lean into your own inner voice and inner authority as a man?
Okay, great question. My dad is just coughing behind me right now. But anyway, we'll just go anyway. So, well, I go into nature. Nature is extremely important. Like there's a saying, the vibration of nature is perfect. It's just meaning that it's all in alignment and helps us get back into alignment with our highest self. playing in the sunshine and whatever, climb trees, just being in nature and like hug a tree or just go barefoot and things like that. So meditation is one thing. And well, I'm very intuitive, probably just naturally, right? And then also I definitely receive visions if I'm in like an activation or a guided meditation. Like someone has been guiding me through those like all this year. It's Jay Matthews with Quantum Soul Code, and her community is called New Earth Keepers of the Light. So I definitely in those activations, right? We always receive visions in those, or just a feeling, and then it gives you me like great clarity, and then I make art based on those visions sometimes. But I'll do that more too because I want to actually do those with others more, and I've started that already. So it's like the visions of the new earth, right? It's visions. It's how do we see heaven on earth? Or like one of my friends said, because we want to create a worldwide peace. What does that look like to you, right? I think she asked something like that. What does that look like? And that gets people to start thinking about the next step because everyone wants peace, but then they don't think about what it actually looks like or feels like or whatever. But we have to do that because to create something, we do that. I'll bring up a quote, like I'll throw it back to you, but then I'm going to bring a quote by Jose Silva that's inspiring about manifesting things, creating. Oh, also, like there's a book by Neville Goddard which helped me change my life, which I went back to like for some multiple time, right? Second time or whatever. I went back to this book because when the student's ready, the teacher appears. And it was back in about, I don't know, September or so, or October, in 2022, The Power of Unlimited Imagination. And that's where it begins. We create from our minds.
Wow. Absolutely. Sounds like you're doing a lot of cool stuff with a lot of new earth leaders already.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's what I'm all about. Absolutely.
Oh, you're on mute.
Okay, yeah, I probably pressed the wrong button. I think I was saying that that's those are the people I love to collaborate with. That's what I'm doing. And that's why we connected. And like you said, one of the things you do is attract people, and you did that with your profile picture. So you can see yourself as a New Earth Queen in that image already. It was just obvious in the picture.
Thank you.
It's probably still the one you have there, I think, because it wasn't that long ago.
I just changed it to another one where
Yeah.
my girlfriend and my friends, we just ran a retreat in Italy to train the men to become divine kings.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a lovely picture too, with the red dress and between like two rows of bushes, like hedges or something.
It's a portal, and I'm saying, come with me to the new earth. It's very beautiful there.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful corridor for sure, and you make it more beautiful by being in it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, one thing while you're looking for that quote is that
I have it now, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go for it. You go for it.
Okay, I'll share it first then. So this is Jose Silva, creator of the Silva Ultra Mind method. If you spur your imagination with belief, desire, and expectancy, and train it to visualize your goals so that you see, feel, hear, taste, and touch them, you will get what you want. See, it's our frequency that matters. It's being in a state of being. This is like we can choose the future. All the possible worlds already exist. We just tune into them. It's just a frequency. Different levels of consciousness are just different frequencies, and you can tune into them, which is amazing. And the quantum leaps, see, it's like if you're look at reality as a mirror, right? Like we see the world not as it is, but as we are. So that's why we must be the change we want to see in the world. We're seeing it a certain way. We want to change the world, and then we're seeing it the way we're seeing it, which is a unique perspective from ourselves. Other people aren't seeing it that way. That's just the way like I'm seeing it, for example, or the way you're seeing it. So then
Mhm.
we want to change. Well, we must change ourselves to change that world, because it's a reflection. Like if you look in the mirror and you want to make it smile, you can't just like try to change the image there like a movie screen. You have to just smile first, then the reflection smiles back. So what we have to do is realize that our beliefs are creating the world, like our beliefs and expectations, and it's subconscious. And there's actually two levels below subconscious beliefs, which is energy, like we were just talking about, our frequency, how we feel, and below that, karma. And we can clear our own karma. Like people might not have thought that we could, but that's something that got discovered in the last 100 years, or maybe rediscovered. So
Yeah,
yeah,
amazing. So
yes.
good.
So then if we look at things, how do they make us feel? This is what this psychic with the New Earth Keepers of the Light, right? This is what she taught me, one of the things. So we have to look at what we believe that's creating it and go down to a core identity belief. Because like you talked about earlier, right? What do we believe about ourselves? And that's creating the reality that we experience. So we get down to that, like I'm not good enough, I'm worthless, right? I'm nothing, and things like that. You get down to that and then see it, and then it can transmute, because all of these are pathways back to the light, back to the I am. Because I actually saw the quote by Ramana Maharshi differently yesterday. I saw it differently. I got a realization, right? I like kind of saw, I just saw it in a new way,
Yeah.
which was a quote, which I think he said was like, I am this or I am that is not true. Like the only truth is I am. And I finally, like, I'm not going to say I finally got that. What I meant was I understood it. Like I saw it in a different way. So that means before I didn't understand what he meant. Because yesterday, when I thought about this, because it was in this context of these limiting beliefs, right? Which I wrote down a whole bunch of them, because that's one of the ways that it helps me start to transmute them, is to see them written down on the paper. Anyway,
Yeah.
the thing is that they aren't true. So anything that we put in after I am ourself, especially if it's limiting, but that's because who we are is infinite. So we can't be
Mm.
limited. But when we say I am, say like not good enough or something, it's extremely limiting, right? But then it's a pathway back to the truth, which is simply I am, which just means I exist, right? Like I exist since I am, I exist and I always have and always will. There's nothing that can stop it, and there's nothing. We're unstoppable, and we're also unlimitable.
Mm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think you just gave me a cognition there. Thank you. I was like, yeah, I am. And if you're just I am period, that means you are all infinite possibilities on the planet. And speaking of infinite or unlimited, even in the new earth, we have to create new language, because the word unlimited has two negations in there. Un is a negation, limited is a negation,
Yeah,
and we don't even have a word that expresses the positive version of that. Infinite, finite is a negation, and in is a negation. So in and then finite means the end. So we have to, it's like inverse language. We
right.
have to actually create new earth language, that because language is sound, and sound vibrates, and sound is creation. So when we speak these words, you're speaking a world into existence, but we need the language to actually create these worlds.
Yeah. Some people speak light language, and like Jay Matthews, right? This one that I talked about that I've learned so much from this year, right? And like, I like sing her praises and stuff. But I'm just saying that she says sometimes that when she's like trying to translate energy or like some message, right? And it's like she keeps saying that the human language is so limited, right? And so she can't say what she wants to say and has to translate it. So, do you want to elaborate on it, or like share any new words right now, or we'll just go into that in the future? But yeah, I agree with you. That's awesome. Creating new language is very important, because the language is limiting. Also, changing the energy of the existing language is needed. I think some people are talking about that already too. Uh,
Yeah, that's it.
and in fact, I made a Facebook page for that years ago, which I called inspiring positive perspectives, which is like, because a word has energy, and then, you know, we've attached a bunch of energy to it, so it could have a morphogenic field and being like predominantly negative, but then we can change the energy of any word. Not that that thing was successful or anything, but it's just the point is that the idea there, and yeah, it was ahead of its time.
Well,
Yeah.
you were definitely ahead of your time, but now is your time. So this is perfect because you've been planting seeds for a long time. And we were talking about money before. You know, you say the word money, people have a whole bag, you know, a bag of full of crap attached to that word, just that one word, money. When actually the word in itself is can be neutral or very empowering. But most of us are very disempowered with that word. Brings a lot of you probably people will become stressed out, or the blood pressure will rise as soon as you talk about the word money, because they associate it with bills and stress and work and blah blah blah. They're not, when you think of money, you're not necessarily just automatically thinking, oh, freedom, resources, I can buy whatever I want, I can do whatever I want, I live in a luxury villa around the world. That's not our automatic programming. So yeah, we have to do the work to clear the energy attached to that word that we keep putting, that feeding the energy, because that when we speak it, it's coming from a new vibration. So that's really powerful what you said. I hadn't thought of it that way, but absolutely. And in terms of word magic, you know, we think about, you know, you say good morning. Morning is when you're mourning the loss or a death of somebody. You're mourning, you're waking up already in mourning, sadness.
Yeah.
And that's a deliberate way to start your day, because it's part of the slavery system to get you into like, I'm a slave and I'm mourning my existence. Good morning, instead
Wow.
of grand rising.
Wow, that's amazing. I was typing morning, like good morning or something. I was typing the word morning, and I even put the U in it that time, and then had to backspace it. And that thing just pre whatever what you just said, because it just
Wow.
pre pre predicted it or whatever, a premonition. Yeah, that's
Premonition.
yeah, that's
Dude.
kind of like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we work all week to get to the weekend, to be weakened by our work week. Weekend is weakness, the end, and we're weak.
Huh.
Weak. Think
Good
about that.
point. Oh, weekend. Yeah, because then when people say, "Oh yeah," and they're great, and they're living for the weekend, and then they get weakened on the weekend because of drinking, it's like, oh, it's called drinking, and that's poisoning yourself, and losing your
Yeah,
spirit. Like the spirits, it's like spirits, it's like high alcohol content, and then stealing your spirit.
absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Mhm.
So we need to create a whole new language to speak heaven on earth into existence, even, and maintain that creation through the way that we speak, because what we speak is sound and creation, and it maintains the paradigm that we live in. So if we want to shift our paradigm, we actually have to speak new things. We need new ways of relating to the world in language.
Mhm. Yeah, the world and ourselves and each other. Um,
Yeah.
how do we do that? How do we change the energy of the word money? Or what is, if you want, what's a phrase, a new phrase or a new word that we could start using? Whatever inspires you right now.
I'm gonna bring something from my money altar.
Okay, cool. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I had a transformation yesterday around my beliefs, and that thing with the I am was so powerful, because then we can realize I am this or I am that or I am whatever is a limitation, and it's not true. Just realizing that, like Jay had said, that like these are all these limiting beliefs are paths back to who we are. And so I am,
Yeah,
just I am.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, for my on my money altar, I just figured that money is just energy. And so if money is just a form of energy, then for me, energy is love, then money is love. And I love money and money loves me, because I'm here to propel love on the planet. I'm here to expand love on the planet.
Mm.
And if money can be used to increase love, then that's what I'm here to do. And I'm going to now associate money synonymously with just loving energy, because it does, when used with integrity and honor, it has the possibility of uplifting and enabling a thriving planet to become into existence. So this is my little mantra. And then I have a cup for the divine feminine. This is just, the cup of abundance and the blooming, the blossoming of the divine feminine in a space of abundance. It's like a mother. I'm a single mom right now, won't be for long, but in this very moment, it's for me to have to financially strive for like just a basic living for my children. It just really, it's like, it doesn't allow me to blossom. But if I have this baseline of financial stability and well-being, that means I'm always nourished. My children are always nourished. We always know that we have like a safe, beautiful, loving home. We're never limited on the resources that we might need, whether it's help in the house or my kids want to travel the world and experience walking the jungle bare feet, that we could just be, do, or have anything we want, whenever we want, however we want. That is what's going to be conducive for the divine feminine to flourish. And when the divine feminine flourishes and blossoms, she then is the divine unconditional love for her children. And in that space, generational trauma cycles just get cut. Cycles are cut, karmic cycles are cut. And it allows for generational healing and then generational thriving, because mother is no longer in survival mode. Mother is in blossoming mode because she has financial stability and that safety, that baseline level of safety for her and her children. And then whole new generations get birthed and created from there. So it is absolutely essential for us to work on our frequency mentality and our frequency abundance. So here's 10K.
Oh, that has empty pages in it though, right? That's like in the
Yeah.
show in Hustle. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just a representation of like, you
Yeah.
have your money filter, and it's like, okay, this is what it feels like to have 10K in your hands.
Yeah.
And I'm making it, I'm seeing it, I'm feeling it, I'm holding it. It's the same weight. So it makes it like, okay, this is a tangible thing for me. And it helps accelerate your manifestation, because it's not just now a visualization in my mind. I can like feel it and see it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's awesome. That can even be a product, right? Because yeah, you can put that together. People can put it together themselves, but they can just order it, just click, boom, and then it comes and you've got it, and it looks like you have 10,000 right there. You can buy it for like 200, 250, 300 or something. And it's like, it depends if it's a real $100 bills on the top and bottom or not, right? That, of course, the price would change depending if it was. But anyway, but yeah, that's a great thing. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I would like to like show your profile picture if that's okay. If I could share the screen. Is it okay to show those? It would be the one that you had before when I connected with you, right? And which was in October. And then your new one. Okay, cool. Okay, because then you could tell us the story behind them if you would be so kind. I'm not sure. I mean, it'd be good to full screen that, but I don't really know how to do that.
Okay, no worries. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm here with my best friend, Phoenix Amara, who is an amazing queen, and she's inspired me so much to come into my beauty and sensuality as a woman. And here we're really just celebrating being in our divine feminine. And it's been quite a journey for me to feel safe being a woman. And I think there's a lot of conversations out there in the conscious world about women putting the responsibility on men to make us feel safe. But we have to, as women, be responsible for ourselves to create our own safety to then attract safe men. And so this photo really is a celebration of the deep wisdom that I've garnered as a woman, that the deep wisdom that I've cultivated as a mother, and the reclamation of myself calling me a queen. I had a comment from someone saying, how how dare you call yourself a queen? Like, how conceited of you to call yourself a queen. And then I said, how sad is it that you don't call yourself a king? And that's why you do not have a queen. And there is a transformation of the relationship that we have with kings and queens. Absolutely. In the past, we've had kings and queens that have abused their power and harmed humanity. And this is a wound that we all have to transmute as a consciousness. But now, the queens and the kings of the new earth, we are coming in with integrity and heart. And we lead from a place of heart and giving and generosity. And I'm celebrating in this photo the triumph that it is to have gone through so much heartbreak to birth my power, claim my worth, and to express my love for others, and to devote myself even more to humanity in a much deeper way. So this is a beautiful photo that I really love.
Wow, Stephanie. And that sparkly gold dress is amazing too. How did you choose it?
Well, that's my girlfriend's dress,
Oh,
the gold one left.
oh, I'm choosing. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong person. Oh, that's a good thing that you told me that, because I got confused on which one was actually you. It's a good. That's a really good
Yeah,
point. Thank you.
that's my girlfriend on the left. And then I
Okay.
was actually wearing a wedding dress because I had done so much healing work on myself around relationships, because I'd come out of a very traumatic relationship, which was a very powerful soul lesson for me. Physical violence, verbal abuse towards my child, drug addiction, like lying, a lot of stuff that I attracted so that I could break the cycles and also get into deeper integrity with myself. And so after doing so much healing around toxic love, clearing toxic love out of my life, and calling in divine love, I had experienced one of the most amazing divine unions with what I call my divine prince. And he was meant to be my practice king, and we dated for a few months this year, and we ended our relationship on the day that this photo was taken, with a wedding celebration to celebrate our love. So I'm actually wearing a wedding dress underneath my queen's outfit to celebrate divine love. So
Ah,
now I am fully baked into the frequency of divine love.
okay. Well, how did you feel that day?
Yeah, I felt that it was probably one of the biggest accomplishments in my life, because, I grew up with my parents fighting a lot, and I never allowed that to make me give up on love. And I just, even though I'd never seen healthy love before, I knew that I deserved it, and I knew I could create it. And so this day was a very powerful celebration of now knowing in physical form what true love feels like. And that was a huge gift.
Ah, okay. Yeah, there's multiple points that I would respond to. But like it's very inspiring, and like yeah, my parents fought, and I feel the same thing. So that's why it's inspiring to me. And then also, I so I think you said that relationship ended that day. So I mean, I was wondering if you became sad because of that, or not. And like this picture was taken after that, right?
Well, we completed in celebration. We
Oh,
completed in we knew that we weren't meant to be life partners. We were in different stages of our lives, but we knew that we prepared each other for our future. We initiated each other into king and queenship, and that was the gift that we celebrated.
okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, so you might see why I gotten confused originally. Because in the middle, I mean the other person, your friend, is more close to the middle of the picture. And since it was your profile picture, I had assumed you were in the middle, but you're on the side, basically. That's why I got confused. But I can see,
Well,
now
and
I can see in your face, but you do also look similar too.
we do, people do think we're sisters, but this is the beauty about sisterhood is that I mean, I'm a Sagittarius. I love being the center of the spotlight, but I don't need it out of like I don't need to be an attention whore. And when when we've healed our sisterhood wounds, we're willing to have our other sisters be in the spotlight. So there she is in the middle, my beautiful queen.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Phoenix.
And yeah, that's awesome. And not being an attention whore either. And the word, that's
Yeah.
interesting too, because the word horror was one of the words that I was wanting to inspire positive perspectives about years ago. That's one of them where I did it. Because what I did with that word, for example, was just make an anagram or something, or like an acronym. So each letter could be something. And so you take that word and then you create a new sentence. And so it means something completely different. But it's just because there's so much negative energy on that word. At least I think so. Or judgment.
I
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that I have vivid past memories in past lives of being a priestess in ancient Rome, where um, my job was to make love to the warriors and help them transmute their pain after war and bring them back to purity and to God. And this our central energy is probably one of the most powerful creative forces. It can birth babies, it can birth projects, it can birth universes, and we're just learning to clear that negative connotation of our natural, I guess, yeah, our natural gifts or natural superpowers. So that's a whole other topic, but
Yeah.
I think that the word horror could definitely be cleansed and purified. And I'm not
Wow.
saying just everyone and anybody, but um, we just have to honor our God-given gifts of
Wow.
love.
Yeah, wow, great point. Yeah, because it's like some say that prostitution, right, being one of the earliest professions, right, and you kind of alluded to it there, but like or tantric, but it's like yeah, that's such a gift, and that it's so needed, and also how people look at it and how powerful it is, and all that. And yeah, I witnessed something amazing in like the Lightworkers Accelerator. One of the women um was one of those people, right? And then she would keep getting raped in all these different lifetimes, right? And it's like that for her, it's just horrible, right? And so she was transmuting that karma. And so you could see that each time that she would give herself compassion about one of these phrases, you would see the energy go through her body, like you would see her shake and stuff. And so certain phrases she would like shake more. It's amazing to see that. So then she's getting back to sovereignty and not being a victim, not being made a victim because of her beauty. So that was amazing to
Mm.
see. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on the topic of beauty, I mean, you can show the next photo if you
Okay.
like.
Yeah.
Beauty, a lot of women, we have hidden our beauty for so long because we have been raped or attacked or assaulted for being beautiful. And so we've attributed our beauty with danger. And for a long time, I did as well. So this photo really is a celebration of my beauty because I never allowed myself to feel beautiful before because I thought that if I did look beautiful or feel beautiful, then I would get hurt and I was in danger. And so now, because the women are doing all this work to feel safe again, to be women and express their beauty, for the first time this summer, since this summer, I've been able to be as radiant on the inside and outside as I want and actually be respected now by men, not just respected, but revered. And men will come up to me and just bow down and say, Goddess, and then just walk away and not do anything about it. Whereas in the past, I would get attacked a lot. Like, I've been raped before. I've had very inappropriate advances. And it's not that we're trying to shame men, because the men are trying to find the balance too. What's the appropriate balance of being assertive without harming or hurting or putting a woman in danger, and maintaining respect. But I think this is where the women, we have to do our own inner work to reclaim our safety to be women, reclaim our safety in our body, reclaim a clear any shame around our sensuality, and just be in our power. And then we will attract conscious men that have also done the same work, where they honor you, but they're also grounded in their masculine power as well. And so we are, as we do our work in feeling more safe as women, we will learn to trust the men again, to then reclaim their warrior energy, because we'll know that they're not going to use that warrior energy against us or to hurt our children. They will use it as a noble cause to uplift humanity, to build the new earth.
All right. Very inspiring. Awesome.
So I have to go soon, so I got to get going, but this has been a really fun conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
anything you want to touch on before I have to depart?
No, that's fine. Thank you very much. I'll end the recording. Yeah, I'll just end it. Awesome. And if people are watching it, then thank you very much for watching.